Before we get started today, we're gonna be doing some different plank variations and movements through the planks today. So we're gonna be elevating those movements because there's a lot of volume with them and I don't want the shoulders to get too fatigued and I wanna keep it safe. So what I want you to do is look around the room real quick. I'm gonna use my coffee table because it's sturdier than my couch. My hands really sink into my couch. It's hard for me to stabilize my wrist. But you can use a couch, you can use a table, you can go grab a chair, just like a dining room chair or any kind of chair, just something that you could lean your body against that'll just bring your angle of your plank up. Also, what you can do is use the wall if you need to, or even like a windowsill will work. Okay, so I'm gonna give you just a minute just to figure out what you're gonna use, and then we're gonna get started with the warm-up today. Today is very cardio intense. They're not it's not like we're doing burpees, but it's gonna be more of a cardiovascular and endurance-based workout with some weights thrown in there, and I'll explain how those will work when we get to the actual sets, but just so you guys have an idea, oh shoot, of what is coming up. So just getting that space set up for yourself. So like I said, I'm just gonna be here with my coffee table and this is gonna be where I'm gonna go ahead and elevate. Let me move the camera a bit too. It's better. All right, you guys. I'm gonna get everyone muted, and then we will get started. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna do a version of our supine twist. So I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and lay down on the ground. We are gonna take your shoulder, whichever shoulder you wanna start with. Oh, that's too close. There we go. Okay. You're gonna pack your shoulder. So I want you to go ahead, find neutral spine before we start. So check your hips, make sure they're in alignment. Pull your belly button into the ground. Stack the whole vertebrae flat onto the floor. Pull the shoulders into the ground. Relax the back of the neck into the floor as well. You're gonna pick one arm, and you're gonna bring that arm straight up above your shoulder. I want you to go ahead and create tension through the arm. So I'm gonna create a fist, and I'm gonna actively push up through this arm, like I'm gonna punch through the ceiling. Now, in this pose, this shoulder is gonna be lifted off of the ground. Before we get started, we're gonna pull that shoulder not only to the ground, but back down and fully retracted, so you feel your lat and your rear delt engage in your back, okay? This is gonna be the most important part of the whole movement, is keeping this shoulder in the ground just like that. I'm gonna take the same leg as this arm, and I'm gonna come into that supine twist we normally do. You're gonna notice your range of motion is gonna be slightly limited. You won't be able to get as low as you normally can, but really focus on pulling that shoulder into place, keeping the tension through the arm, and then rotating into those hips. Even though the range of motion will feel like you're getting less, you will actually feel more rotational stretch by really locking in that shoulder and then coming into that hip twist. So we're gonna just do a few more here on the side. Again, just be very cognizant of what the shoulder's doing. Do your best to kind of keep that shoulder grounded and keep that tension through the arm, so the arm's not just flailing around. There's a lot of intention and strength through that arm bar here. Make sure you're breathing into your rotation. We're gonna get one more here, guys. And then you're gonna go ahead and switch those legs. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and take a second, check my posture, make sure my hips are in alignment, pull my belly button into the ground. I'll take that opposite arm up. I'll create that tension through my fist into the ceiling. I will pull my shoulder back down into the ground, locking in my lats and my rear delt, and then come into my rotation. And if you guys can see, my range of motion is not super big. I am actually about a foot off, maybe more, from getting that leg down to the ground. And that's fine. I'm not going to risk losing the shoulder just to get my leg down to the ground. We will come into your regular supine twist where you'll be able to get more range of motion out of it next. But for this one, just really focus on the shoulder, the arm, and just do your best with that rotation. Breathing into it. We're going to get one more on this side. Go ahead and flip yourself back to neutral. Take those palms to face up towards the ceiling. Let's come into your regular supine twist. Pull both shoulders back and down into the ground. Pull your core into the floor. Feel that stretch through your arms and your chest. And then let's bring it into that first side. Doing our best now to keep that arm flat and into the ground. So now that we've practiced really connecting to the shoulders, you'll notice that in your regular supine pose, you're able to lock down the shoulders a bit more than you probably normally do. So really keep focusing on pulling, just like when you had that arm bar, that shoulder back down and grounding it into the floor before you come into that full rotational stretch. And then just breathing, using that breath to help power you into it. All right, we are just gonna go one more here. Go ahead and release. Quick posture check, again, grounding the shoulders, coming into the opposite side for that stretch. And you will notice that range of motion gets slightly better. That's great, just keep trying to work towards the ground without losing that shoulder. Got just a few more here. All right, guys, get this last one. And then you're going to go ahead and make your way up to a kneeling position. We're going to come into our hip and hamstring stretch. So we're going to find that kneeling runner's lunge. We're going to take our knee up. We're going to flex our back glute forward. So we have that nice big stretch from our hip down to our knee. And then again, checking my hip to make sure that this hip is not hiked up, but instead in alignment with my lower leg. And then I'm going to go ahead and rock forward, grounding my heel. So not going any further than my ankle will allow. And then I'm going to keep that strong torso, kick my foot out, long spine to rock into hamstring. Okay, so you're going to just take your time. Again, flex the glute down for hip stretch. Breathing into that. Rock back in to that hamstring stretch. Forward hip. Take an inhale in transition, exhale into stretch. 2 more here. You start to feel yourself open up a bit more. Maybe you're able to lean forward more. Maybe you're able to push into the ankle a bit more, get more range of motion into that lunge. Now before we switch legs, you're going to take the same leg that was in front, open it to the side for me. Again, we're going to ground our heel, we're going to push our knee back. We're going to slide into this full stretch, creating space between our knees. And in this stretch, you're going to rotate either side. Push to center, fall back into it, create that rotation. So again, moving our shoulders opposite of our hips. Our hips are staying stationary. We're trying to create movement from our ribs and our upper back, really opening up that mid-back, allowing us to get that range of motion. Again, heel is grounded. This knee is pushed back behind you to create more space through your actual hips and groin. We're going to get one more on the side. Bring it back up. Switch those legs, let's find that runner's lunge again. So again, we're gonna go ahead and bring the opposite leg up. We're gonna flex that glute forward, check our posture. So I can tell you right now, this hip is slightly higher for me. I have this diagonal line. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my hip into alignment and then make sure again that my glute is squeezed forward. So a good way is just grab onto your hip, see if your hand is slightly higher on one side. You can generally feel that hip shift out, and it'll be the top leg, the front leg, that is slightly higher. And then just feeling your body out. How do your legs feel? Do they feel about the same tightness? Is it a little bit harder on one side? If you're on a side that's maybe just a bit tighter, you may just want to hold a little bit longer at the bottom of your stretches. So you're just holding here for a little bit longer than you were on that first set. Using our breath to power us through. All right, guys. We're gonna go 2 more here. Last one. Once you finish with this hamstring, you're gonna take it out to that lateral. Again, we're gonna square the hips forward, but open this outside hip, push the knee back around the heel. We're gonna come into that nice big length. And then again, rotate through our upper mid back to create a little bit more stretch through our hips. And then also opening up that TA, that mid back. And then just take your time, guys. There's no rush with these stretches. You're gonna get that body temperature up, that heart rate up real quick today. So really enjoy this slower time with the mobility and the stretches. One more, guys. Awesome. All right, you're gonna go ahead and bring that knee back down. You're gonna end up back in that four-plex position. We're gonna lift for 5 downward dogs, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and find neutral spine. So again, pull the core up, pull those shoulders back and down, untuck your toes, take a big inhale with me. On your exhale, we're gonna shoot those hips up to the ground. So big inhale, exhale, reach into stretch. Holding here, creating space, shining that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Inhale to bring it back down to the mat. Hold for just a second. Exhale to release back into stretch. Inhale to bring it down. Exhale to lift and stretch. Almost there, guys. Just really trying to create space through our back and through our hamstrings and our calves. So again, really trying to take that tailbone up towards the ceiling, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, pulling the heels down towards the ground. And it's okay if your knees are slightly bent, if you're able to tilt your pelvis up higher. All right, guys, you're gonna get one more. Out of this one, you're gonna either, easier option is walking the feet to meet the hands. Harder version is walking those hands to meet the feet. You choose your version, you're gonna end up in a hamstring reach. So either way, you're gonna end bent over the front of your legs here, reaching towards the ground and maybe just hovering above the ground. We'll hold here for just a second, and then you're gonna give me a slow, controlled roll out of the hips, making your head that last thing. So I'm gonna start to pull my glutes into alignment, then my ribs, then my shoulders, finally releasing that head. Awesome. Okay, guys, so we have a long circuit today. The circuit itself is split into 3 different circuits. How it's gonna work is we're gonna have a strength movement. And after each strength movement, we'll have a cardio movement. So the first round, your cardio options are a jumping jack, or this is the modified version of that jumping jack, or a high knee. Okay, this is the modified version of that. So we're gonna use this first round more of a warm-up round. It's your body weight round. You may wanna start slower, so play around with the cardio. You don't have to stay with the same one throughout all the rounds. You can switch it up. We're gonna be about 60 to 70% of our max effort. And then as we slide into that second circuit, we'll start picking up the intensity as well, okay? So we're gonna start with the strength movement. It's gonna be our prisoner squat. Our hands are gonna go back behind our ears, opening our chest and our shoulders. We're pulling those elbows back. And then we're just gonna drop right into our squat here, okay? We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So, don't like that. Coming up, big squeeze, and then releasing down. Again, you're still in that warm-up phase, so you may not be able to get down to your full depth of your squat yet. That's fine. Listen to what your body's giving you. Maybe you're just giving me partial squats right now. We are gonna have 2 more rounds where you're really gonna be able to attack that range of motion, but just focus for now on warming up the body. Getting out all those little creaks, getting the body just moving, blood pumping a bit. Again, same with these first cardio rounds. You're not gonna be at your full intensity. I'm even gonna take a modified just to get my body moving because I'm feeling stiff this morning. We just woke up. We haven't done much. We're gonna go 2, 1, and time. So you're resting here. Again, you can come step, you can go full jack, you can go march, or you can go full high knee, okay? I'm gonna take a modified jack for this first round just to give my body a little time to warm up. You do what you wanna do. It is your choice. We're going here in 2, 1, and go. So again, we're only at about 60 to 70%. We're not going too intense. We're using these first few minutes just to get that body going, okay? I can't stress that enough, especially early morning, guys. That's when we need these warm-ups a little bit more. We really haven't done much with our body, and to just go at it guns blazing can be very dangerous. So take your time easing into the workout. I promise you, you will get that heart rate up. You'll be working hard by the end of this. So we got 20 seconds. Make sure we're breathing. Find just a nice steady tempo. 10 seconds left. All right, guys, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. So this is where we're gonna use our elevated surface. You're gonna come up into a elevated push-up. You can be here on your toes, or if you need a little bit more help, you're gonna drop down to your knees here like this, okay? So find your version. You're gonna get you guys going here in 2, 1, and go. So we're just warming up into that push-up. Core stays strong. Remember, the wider your base with your feet, the easier it's gonna be on those arms just by distributing your weight a little bit more evenly. Now pull those shoulders back and down, just like we practiced on the supine twist. Connect to the upper back, retract those shoulders, and then drop into your push-up. Feel your upper back working alongside your chest to help push you up. You should feel your shoulder blades squeeze together at the bottom of your push-up. We have 7 seconds. All right, guys, we're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Time. We're coming back into that cardio round. So again, choose your version. It's a jumping jack, it's a high knee, it's a march, it's a step out jack. You choose your version. We're at about 60 to 70. I'm gonna take mine back up to a high knee. Again, I'm not at my full intensity, but I'm at a nice little hop, enough to get my heart rate up. We got 2 more rounds here, and then we'll bring you back up to a more intense state, okay? So if you're doing a high knee, we're staying on those toes, we're pulling those knees up, we're pumping those arms, we got the whole body working here. And always breathing, guys. Always focus on our breath. Never want to hold it. We got 24 seconds. Awesome. We're almost done with this first circuit. 15 seconds. Breathe and pump. 7. All right, we're gonna go 2, 1, and time. We're coming into a plank. You can take this up on your table or down on the ground. I'm gonna take mine on the ground because it hurts my hands with this table edge. So you choose your version. We're gonna go 50 seconds. Let's go ahead and pop up there, guys. Pull your belly button in and think about driving your ribs down to your hips. So you're in a crunch. I'm in a crunch right now, but my spine looks pretty neutral. My hips are not up high. They're in alignment with my shoulders, but I'm actively thinking about driving my ribs to my hips and pulling my belly button up. And that makes this plank so much harder, not just actively engaging the core, but actually putting yourself into a mini crunch within your plank. Push your heels back, pull your shoulders down, squeeze those abs. We have about 10 seconds, guys. Hold and squeeze, almost there. All right, we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Popping up, guys. Again, choose your cardio. I'm gonna go to a full jumping jack. You don't have to stay the same. You can switch it up. We have 7 seconds here. We're starting to get warm. We're starting to sweat a little bit. We are picking it up here in the next 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and find that comfortable cardio movement. Big arms, big legs, nice and light on the feet. It's starting to wake up. Get that body pumping. We got 30 seconds. Awesome job, guys. All right, 20 seconds to go. You got this. That's 10. All right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay, last movement is to start alternating step back lunge or step back if your knees don't feel great on the lunge. So remember, step back is here. Just tapping the toe behind you, stepping up. Lunge, we actually take that dip into the hips. All right, alternate those legs. We're going here in 2, 1, and go. So take your time with the strength, especially in the next few rounds. You're really going to be using your strength movement to help you recover as you're actively moving, okay? So our heart rate is coming up a bit. You may notice your breathing pattern shortening up. Do your best to start lengthening out the breath and putting that emphasis on that recovery. We have 20 seconds. Nice and controlled. Staying balanced, staying controlled. It's not about speed here. 10 seconds. All right, guys. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay, so you get 2 new cardio movements, and then we are adding to each of those movements. So this next round will be very similar. I want you guys up at about 70 to 80% of your max effort. For your cardio movements, the options are, I don't know if I want to do any of these. Okay, first option is going to be a pop squat. So you're popping down, popping up, okay? Modified version of that is the side step shuffle, okay? So if you don't feel comfortable with the pop, you can take a side shuffle. The next one is our squat jump. Nice and light. Again, modified, push up to the toes. Release, push and launch to the toes. So it's more of an explosive squat, okay? So you're gonna choose any of those 4 movements this time in between our rounds. We're gonna start here, squat and press. So you're gonna grab 1 or 2 dumbbells, depending how you're feeling this morning, and you're gonna give me a squat with a press. We're gonna make it as fluid as we can. Load those hips up, load those knees up. So we got 7 seconds, guys. Tuck the glutes underneath you, squeeze your core. We're going here in 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we should be starting to feel good in our bodies right now. Feeling our strength, feeling our range of motion come into almost about 100%. So I want you to start picking up your intensity. Instead of being at that 60, 70, we're at about 75, 85% here, okay? 30 seconds, making it fluid, breathing through it. 20 seconds left. Awesome job, guys. All right, last 10. We're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay, choose your cardio. Step, step, top squat, squat jump, or explosive squat, okay? I'm going for it. I'm going pop squat. Who's joining me? We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So we're gonna be safe. We're gonna move as quick as we can, safely. Okay, so safety and control is always gonna trump that speed. But once we feel safe and controlled, then we can really start to work on that tempo, okay? Find that balance. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure with all of these movements, we're using the legs, not the back, to get low. We only got 20 seconds, guys. You're doing awesome. Use your glutes to drive out of these. Last 10. All right, we're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. We're coming back. Elevated. 2 options. Option 1, you do your push-up, you leg raise. Then you do your push-up again on the opposite side, leg raise. Or you can do it, flow it together. So I do my leg raise as I drop into my push-up. Choose your version, guys. Doesn't matter to me. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So I'll start modified. I'm gonna push up, and then I'm gonna kick. If I wanna take it up a notch, I'm gonna kick and push up at the same time. All right, if this becomes too much, give me just the kick. We got 20 seconds, guys. Almost there. Last 10. All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Okay. Shaking it out. Coming back to cardio. I know, we're really starting to get after it. This is what I'm talking about. You're gonna need those active recoveries. Slow the breathing. We're coming into that cardio movement. We're going here in 2, 1, and go. So you can keep it the same. You can switch it up. Whatever's gonna keep you motivated and working hard. If you're jumping though, we're landing nice and light. What I wanna do is land low. So I don't wanna land here and then drop into the squat, jamming my knees. Stay nice and controlled and light. Okay, we got 20 seconds. Almost there, guys. 15 seconds. 10. Feeling those legs, almost there. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Time. All right, guys. We're gonna come into a plank climber. Again, you can take this elevated. I am taking these down on the ground. My table is quite harsh on my wrist. So, what you wanna do, find your plank. You're gonna pull your knee up. As you pull your knee up, look at my mid-back. It comes up to flex. So I'm putting myself in a crunch position. Every time you drive the knee up, I want you to vacuum belly button up, drive ribs and hips together to create that flexion, okay? I prefer you guys do this elevated if you can. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. The only reason I say that is it's a whole lot easier to get that flexion through your core elevated, then on the ground. Okay? And that's all this is. This is not cardio here. This is a core flexion movement. This is a crunch. It doesn't feel like a crunch, but if you're doing it right, it should feel like a crunch. Maybe that was the wrong wording. It doesn't look like a crunch. You got 15 seconds, guys. You're doing great. Big squeeze. We're gonna go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time, popping up. We're almost done with this second little circuit here. Find your cardio movement, okay? I'm gonna switch it up to the side shuffle. Again, you pick whatever you feel comfortable with. We're gonna go here in 3, 2, 1, and go. It doesn't have to stay the same. Again, it's all about speed and intensity. We're just trying to get that heart rate up. The pop squat is the hardest one. Then it's the squat jumps, okay? So if you want to go all out, stick with one of those. 30 seconds. Nice and light. Big hops. Almost there. Great job, guys. Okay. 15 seconds. Let's keep going. Let's stay focused. Let's finish this round. Almost there. 10 seconds. All right, we're going here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay, grab it under your dumbbells. We're going lunge, lateral raise. So you'll take your step back lunge, you'll step up, you'll raise those dumbbells. If the dumbbells feel too heavy, you can go body weight. If you only have one, bring it out in front of you, Susan, if you can, okay? We'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So Susan, you'll be here, and then you'll bring it out if it feels okay. Alternate those legs. Slow the breathing down. We're getting close, guys. We got about 8 more minutes here, and then we're gonna finish up on the mat. So just keep that in mind to gauge your own intensity. I'm sweating over here. If you're not, you may need to take it up a notch on these next few rounds, okay? We got 10 seconds. Again, don't rush those movements, take your time. We're gonna go here. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, you guys, we're switching it up once again. Your cardio movements. Option 1, this is modified. It's step tap, step tap, step tap, okay? So you're just reaching and pumping those arms. If you're gonna take it unmodified, it's actually a hop with a split jump, okay? Option 2 is a skip. So I can not jump, just focus on creating that skip, or I can add that little bit of a hop. Okay, again, up to you. If you want to add that plyo aspect, you don't have to. So those are our 4 movements. This is our last round across. So we have 8 minutes, okay? We're gonna get you guys started in about 18 seconds. The first movement, squat curl press. So you're gonna grab one of those dumbbells. We're gonna roll those shoulders back and down. Tuck the glutes underneath you. We got about 7 seconds, guys. Let's go, 8 minutes. We can slow it down after that. 2, 1, and go. So again, every round, these strength movements, we get a little bit more intense. So yes, we are really bringing the heat on this last round, and I wanna make sure that you are getting the most out of it. So be really honest with yourself. If you feel like you can get deeper, or maybe move faster, I want you to go for it. Yes, stay safe, but challenge yourself a bit with either your range of motion, your tempo, your speed, your explosiveness. Any of those are great ways to take each exercise up just a notch. Make it a little bit harder on yourself. We have 10 seconds. All right, guys, we're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, choose your first version. Step back, tap, tap, or a split, or a hip skip, or a full skip, leaving it off the ground, okay? I'm gonna go with the jumps. We're gonna go here in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right. Moving the arms, moving the feet, staying light on the steps. Thirty seconds. Great job, guys. Remember, it's your last round, so let's really bring the heat. Let's make it hard for ourselves. There's nothing to save your energy for. You've made it. Really push into this. Lean into the intensity. We got 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right. All we're doing is we're adding an abduction to your push-up. So you took that push-up, leg raise, kick. If you're doing it separated, it's push-up, leg kick, push-up, leg kick. Guys, I'm gonna take this to the ground because I can no longer hold on to my table. We're gonna go here in 2, 1, and go. So all we're doing is adding that little bit of abduction through that kicking leg. It's when you're fully out at the top of the plank, then you're gonna abduct that foot. Keep your core strong. Keep your foot flexed to hold more tension through that leg if you can. If the push-ups become too much, give me just the legs. We got this, guys. 5 seconds. Last one. 2, 1. Time. Okay. We are going to go plank with that same climber we did. Climber, climber, both sides. This time you're going to add a hop. So you'll be here. Plank, climber, hop, hop. Back to plank, climber, okay? Again, I prefer you guys be elevated than down on the ground. I just can no longer hold my table. It's too sharp. Okay, we're gonna go here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So slow it down, find your crunch. And then with the hops, stay light and work on using the core to hop those feet in. Hop, hop. 30 seconds. Guys, you guys totally let me skip us out on the cardio round. Uh-oh, we gotta add one at the end. 20 seconds. I almost cheated us out of a whole round. 7 seconds, guys. 2, 1. Time, okay. Pop it up. So this is our second last cardio round. We gotta add one more because I forgot it. Sorry. Choose your version. I'm gonna come into those skips. We're gonna go here in 5 seconds. We've got 3, 2, 1. Let's go, guys. We have 3 minutes. That's including this round here. Okay? So let's go. We're almost there. We're getting super close. Let's keep that intensity up. Let's finish with a bang. If you're skipping, you're pulling that knee up, getting that little hop, or just pushing up to that toe. We got 20 seconds. Almost there. Let's go. 10 seconds. All right, we're gonna go here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last movement. We're grabbing out of the dumbbells. 2 options. Option 1's easier. Lunge, front raise, or lateral raise, knee drive. Option 2, you bring it together. And it's one fluid movement, okay? This is your last strength movement. Here we go, guys. 2, 1, and go. I'll start modified. Lunge, step up, raise, knee drive, switch feet. Lunge, step up, raise, knee drive. Okay, I'm gonna move into advance. Lunge, one fluid movement. Lots more balance, lots more control. Okay, we just have one more cardio round, and then we are coming down to the ground, guys. Whew. Balance, 15 seconds. Almost there. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay, guys, you can come back to any of the cardio movements you've done throughout today. You can also pick something different. I'm gonna go jumping jacks. This is your last round though, so pick something that's gonna be tough. Here we go, guys. 2, 1, let's go. 50 seconds. We slow down. You can also switch it up through the set. So maybe you start with jumping jacks, maybe you switch. Just choose something that's gonna get your heart rate up. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Let's just keep that body moving at a quick tempo. I gotta get off that mat. All right, guys. 15 seconds. Let's go. Pick it up to finish. 10 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Guys, please grab some water. We're gonna finish up on the ground. I'm gonna move you down to a lower level. If you need to adjust your screens, please go ahead and take a moment to do that. Right now, you should be focusing on recovery and slowing your breathing, getting some water. The hard part is over. We're gonna fall into just a little bit of core. And then you guys are gonna be done today. Oh my gosh, almost dropped that. Okay. All right, you guys. We have 5 movements, all in the core. We're gonna go through it one time. You're gonna stretch, and then you are finished. You are all done. Time to enjoy the day. So, a lot of these you're gonna be very familiar with, you've done before. There may be a few new ones, but I think for most of you, you'll be at least semi-familiar with them. The first one we're gonna start with, if you know you struggle with sit-ups, what I would do is put your feet underneath your couch or your coffee table, like I have right here, to give you a little bit extra leverage in this movement. So there is another modified version I'm gonna show you as well, but this is the full version. What you're gonna do is you're gonna first put your back and your core into flexion. So this is me neutral spine, sitting up tall. I'm gonna put myself into that flexion. My ribs and hips are together. My back is slightly rounded. My shoulders are slightly rounded forward, okay? Hands can support the neck. They can go around the chest, whatever feels good. You're gonna move yourself in these little circles around and down. I don't come to the ground, I just come to hover. Halfway through, we'll switch. If this causes you a lot of tension in your hip flexors or possibly even your low back, that's fine. You're gonna bring yourself down to the ground. You're gonna do a much smaller version of the exact same thing. So instead of lifting all the way up, you're gonna just come part of the way up and then roll the shoulders to the ground, okay? Either of these versions are gonna work. You're gonna get a lot of tension through your abs, so just pick whichever one you feel more comfortable with. We're gonna get you guys going here. Okay, we're going here in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, guys. So nice big circles. Ground those feet. And if you're using the coffee table, you're flexing your foot into the back of the coffee table legs or into your couch to help stabilize you. Focus on those circles. We're only going one time through. Switch directions for me. Keep that back and that core flexed. Look at my shoulders. They're nice and curved. 15 seconds. Breathe through it, guys. Last 10. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right, guys, we're gonna come into our suitcase crunch. We've done this before. You're laying flat on the ground. You're gonna bring the knees and the elbows to touch right at your center and then release to the ground, okay? We're gonna get you guys going here in 2, 1, and go. Again, with this one, I really wanna have my legs to do most of the travel. So I'm gonna peel my shoulders up to about 30%, and then ask my legs and knees to really come to meet my elbows, traveling about 70% of the way to get that contact. So I'm getting that good flexion through my hips and my shoulders to create that suitcase. We got 20 seconds. Breathe through it. Almost there, guys. 10 seconds. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Regular crunch. We all know what we're doing here. Let's make sure that we have a good engaged core before we start. So we're going to go ahead and close that gap between us and the ground, pushing our belly button and our ribs into the floor. Hands can go on the shoulders to make this a little tougher, or around the head if you need support, but just don't pull your neck up. We're going to go ahead and start. We're going to exhale up, inhale down. It's not a huge range of motion. You're going to just find your tension at the top. Roll back down. Again, guys, really trying to isolate those abs. So pushing the belly button into the ground as you peel those ribs towards those hip bones. We have 20 seconds. 15. Last 10 here. All right, we're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay, we only have 2 minutes left. 2 movements, 2 minutes. We're gonna go into a roll-up crunch. Hands are gonna come onto the quads. You're gonna peel up, peel down, okay? Trying to get those fingertips up above the knees. If you need to support the neck, you can put your hand around one side of your head and then have the arm around on the quad on the other side. We'll go here in 2, 1, and go. So exhale up, inhale down. So very similar, but slightly different range of motion on the roll-up crunch. Instead of just bringing ourselves forward, we're actually lifting forward and up. Still folding around the belly button, just adding that little bit of a lift to that crunch. Lots of tension here, guys. If it's not hard for you, I need you to squeeze the low back and belly button into the ground, or maybe hold at the top for just a second and then release down. We have 10 seconds. We're gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, we're rolling up. Our last version is our V-up. I'm gonna show you a couple versions from easiest to hardest, okay? So easiest, hands and feet are gonna be on the ground, and I'm just gonna lean back, push up, okay? The next hardest, I'm gonna take my feet up, I'm gonna lean back, push up, okay? After that, arms go up, we lean back, push up, and that's the full version, okay? If you wanna make it even harder, you can make the limbs longer to sit up into it, okay? Choose your version. We have 10 seconds. This is it though. I'll walk through all 3 stages as we get into the set. We're gonna go here, in 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So version 1, feet and arms stay on the ground. I'm just gonna lean myself back and pull myself up. If that feels good, then I might take my knees up and add that little bit of flexion through my cores. If that feels good, I might try taking my arms up, coming here. If that feels good and I want to go full, you're going to just keep those limbs a little bit longer and reach a little bit more into that range. 20 seconds. 15. Great job, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Alrighty. Let's take a little time to stretch it out. And then you guys are done. So I'm going to have you guys go ahead and find butterfly pose for me. We want to sit as close to our heels as we can, but at the point that I can still sit up tall, okay? So if I can't push myself into my hips and sit up tall, I probably need to bring my feet further out in front of me. For this first half, I just want you to focus on sitting tall and pushing those knees into the ground with your abductor muscles, pulling your shoulders down towards the floor and lifting your chest up towards the ceiling. And then just breathe into that space. We're going to go ahead and start to go into the low back. So I'm going to bring my feet slightly in front of me, just about half an inch to an inch. I'm going to wrap my shins, or my elbows around the front of my shins, clasping around my feet, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull myself down. Breathe into that low back. All right, we'll go ahead and roll out of that. We're going to go ahead and take both legs long. We're going to reach up. We're going to come into that low back floss. So again, I'm going to sit nice and tall. And I'm just going to hinge at my hips. So I don't want my back to bend at all. I'm just going to hinge and release. I know we do a lot of these, but they are so important for our low back and hamstring health, as well as giving us the ability to do our squats and our deadlifts with better form. The more we can kind of practice this hinging movement and get more range of motion out of it, the better we'll be. Okay, so you're going to get one more, guys. Go ahead and release. We're going to go ahead and reach for the toes now. So now you can let the back round. Grab onto your ankles, your toes, your calves. Pull your chest down as you push your hips back. Go ahead and release again. I want you to bend your knees, and then I want you to go ahead and lay your chest right onto your quads, grabbing onto your feet or whatever you can get a hold of. Now, once you're here, you can hold this stretch, pushing into your feet to get better leverage into your low back. Or if it's not a huge amount of stretch, it may mean that you can get your legs a little bit longer. So what you can do is start to inch your heels out, but only as far as you can keep your chest and your stomach connected to the front of the squats. So really just trying to create that forward fold. Breathe into the low back, breathe into the hamstring. 10 seconds here. All right, you're going to go ahead and roll yourself up. We're going to go ahead and take those legs over to one side. So you're sitting on this hip, both legs are stacked over here to this side. We will wrap around the leg, and then we're going to go ahead and circle sweep up and over for this nice big hip and oblique and back stretch. So just reach over, take that rib up as you reach the fingertips down towards the ground. We'll go ahead and release. We'll swing those hips. So we're on the opposite side. Again, resting on the glute or the meaty part, not on your hip bone. What am I doing? Oh, guys, I'm still not awake. We're gonna grab onto the leg and then we're gonna go ahead and twist and reach into that stretch. Breathe into it. Really trying to create this big swoop. As much space as you can, taking those ribs and hips up as you bend, so you're really arching that side. Go ahead and release there, guys. Last one. Find your mat. Bring your big toes together. Bring those hands out in front of you. Curve your back up into back stretch, and then just sink right into your hips, keeping that back elevated. Pushing into your palms, stretching out that back. You're here for 20. Ten seconds.